Okay, so we are now in my second video talking about salary and wages. In this video, we are going to know how those mandatory deduction done, especially SSS, PhilHealth, pag-ibig, and your tax contribution. Okay, so let's try to know how this following respective system works in deducting an amount from your salary. Okay, let's begin with SSS. For SSS, we have this so-called table. Okay, we have this table from SSS. They're followed, and this table is the new version of salary deduction. Okay, so as you can observe, lot, lots of digits, right? So let's try to discuss it one by one. So from here, this is what you call the salary compensation range. Okay, so once you are there to check your excess contribution, you should see the range of or where your monthly salary belongs. Example, my monthly salary is 4,500, so meaning that is in the range of 2 4 here. Okay, so this is the range of compensation. Example, my salary is 4,500. Okay, so you can observe we have this here, the SSS contribution. Okay, so you can observe we have ER. When you say ER, it refers to the employer or to your company where you are working. When you talk about EE, that is you as an employee. So why we have this portion of SSS contribution, the ER and the EE, or the employer and the employee. So meaning, as as a worker, you are obliged to pay. You are obliged to pay for your membership in an SSS. Also, your company or your employer also should have a contribution to you. Okay, so for example, my salary is 4,500. So it belongs to this range of compensation. So if you're going to look at here, my employer or my company should give a amount of 360 as a contribution to my SSS. Okay, so you as an employee, you are obliged to pay. You are obliged to be deducted by 180 pesos. So meaning 180 pesos should be visible to your salary slip. Okay, so again, ER refers to the contribution of the employer and EE refers to your contribution. Since this video only focused on the deductions of the employee or as a worker, meaning we are more on focusing to the contribution of the employee, or meaning we are going to check only the EE or the employee's contribution. Okay, so let me erase this one for a while. Okay, there you have it. So meaning we are only there to focus this one in the search of the 80 up to 800. At the same time, the compensation range. Okay, so I have here an example. Salary of Mr. Robinson is 21,500. And before that, SSS is based on to your monthly salary. Okay, to your monthly salary. Say for example, salary of Mr. Robinson is 21,500. So how do I check my SSS contribution for the amount deducted to me for my SSS membership? So of course you go to the range of compensation and 21,500 belongs here. That is 19,750 and above. So meaning my salary belongs there. So meaning if you're going to check the A column, that is 800 pesos. Therefore, SSS contribution of Mr. Robinson is 800 pesos. And 800 pesos is deducted to my salary, automatically be deducted to my salary every month. And my employer will be the one to pay that one for it. Okay, so that is how the SSS table works. This is how the SSS table works. Okay, again, we are focusing here to the deductions of the employee. every month. So meaning we are going only to focus to the EE cost. That's how it works. Okay. So last example. Wait, I'm looking for my cursor. There you have it. Okay. So last example is my salary is 10,000. Where's 10,000 belongs? 10,000 belongs here, right? This is the 9,750. We're going to check it here. There you have it. You will be deducted 400 pesos. That is the SSS table, or how are you going to know your deduction for your SSS. Okay? So that's how it works. That is for SSS table. Okay, second is for the field health. For the field health, this is how your field health contribution works. We have this new scheme for the field health for your hospitalization support. Before, we have this so-called timetable table where you can check save with SSR. But now, the field health is now fixed and it is increasing every year. Since we are now in 2020, meaning you will have to contribute 3%. 3% every month. And PhilHealth also pays to your salary every month. So for next year is 2021, this is 3.5%. So you can observe an increase of 0.5% to your contribution to PhilHealth. And take note, this scheme is the premium PhilHealth scheme. So meaning it is from 10,000. If your salary is 10,000 and above, meaning you are entitled to pay 3%. 3% of that one. But take note, PhilHealth, same with SSS, should have a contribution from the employee and a contribution from the employer or you as a worker. Okay, so that is 3%. So how it works? Example, John's salary is 17,500 per month. In this video, we are focusing on the premium PhilHealth contribution. Okay, so example, John's salary is 17,500 per month. So how it works? So again, it should be the 3% of your salary. So meaning 17,500 times 0.03. The result here is 525.00. And 525.00 is not your obligation to pay the full. Because again, same with SSS, it should have a employer's or your company's contribution and you. And in PhilHealth, that should be 50-50. 50% for you as an employee and 50% to your employer. That is why if you get 50% of your monthly salary, you have to divide it by 2. So if you're going to divide it by 2, you will be deducted by the amount of 262.5, or John's will be deducted by 262.5, because half of that, or also 262.5, will be paid by your employer. Again, that is 50-50 base, 50% base. You are not obliged to pay the full. Your employer are responsible, or held responsible in paying for that. Okay, so this video we are focusing on, again, in this video we are focusing on the premium PhilHealth contribution, meaning the salary is amounting 10,000 and up. If your salary is amounting 10,000 below, that's another story. That's another competition. But we are focusing on the amount above, or 10,000 and above. Okay, so that's how PhilHealth works. Now, let's proceed to pag-ibig fund contribution. Okay, again, pag-ibig fund contribution is more or helping the workers, the Filipino workers, to establish their own houses. Okay, so this is how the pag-ibig fund contribution works. You have only 2 schemes. Okay, same with PhilHealth. In SSS, we have the employee or you as a worker's contribution and employer or your company's contribution to you. Okay, so first scheme is that if your salary or monthly compensation is 1,500 and below, meaning from 1,500 and below, there is a 1%, meaning the 1% of your salary ranging from 1,500 and below should be deducted to you. And 2% is your employer, so meaning you have a 3% pag-ibig fund contribution. If your salary is over 1,500, meaning that is you are obliged as a worker to pay 2% of your monthly salary or as your pag-ibig fund contribution, and other 2% for that is for your employer, a total of 4%. So 50-50. But it is not always the 2% of your monthly income. Because in pag-ibig fund, that is over 1,500, not exceeding 5,000. Example, my salary is 6,000. 6,000. So meaning, that is over 5,000 already. So meaning, the computation will be based on 5,000 pesos. If my monthly salary is 10,000, so meaning, I belong in this scheme, so that should be 2% of my salary. So meaning, I will not get the 2% of 10,000. Instead, I'll get the 2% of 5,000 because that is the scheme. In short, the maximum contribution of an employee is 100 pesos because that is the 2% of 5,000. Okay? Again, we have two schemes, 1,500 and below, that's 1% of your salary. And if your salary is over 1,500 but not exceeding 5,000, that is 2%. If it exceeds to 5,000, the computation will be based on 5,000 pesos. And meaning, or in short, the maximum contribution to employee is 100 pesos. Okay, so that's how pag-ibig fund works. Again, if my salary is 7,500, since it exceeds to 5,000, you will not compute 2% of 7,000. Instead, you will compute 2,000 and 2% of 5,000. If my salary is 4,500, since 4,500 does not exceed 5,000, meaning I will get the 2% of 4,500. Other amount exceeding 5,000 should get the 2% of 5,000. In short, 100 pesos is the greatest contribution. Unless if you're going to upgrade. But by standard or by the standard of pag-ibig, this is how it works. Okay? This only works. Okay, so now we are down to another deduction, how this deduction works, and this is what we call the withholding tax. Okay, so withholding tax, this is your responsibility as an employee to pay for it, and it is automatically be deducted to your monthly salary. Okay, so our goal here is to know how your taxes works, and it is under the BIR or the Bureau of Internal Revenue. Okay, so this is mandated by the law. But how are we going to read this one? So for the computation of tax withheld, to determine the tax withheld per payroll period, we shall first consider the following data. As you can observe, we have lots of data down here that we have to consider. It's kind of complicated. Okay, so the first thing that we have to identify is your gross pay, the amount or your salary, the total salary that you are going to receive or you render. Okay, we have to know that one. Second is the status. Okay, where the gross salary here, again, the first thing that you have to know is your gross salary. So you can observe that these digits down here or from here, these are your gross salary. Okay, these are your gross salary. That's the first thing that you have to identify. Second is the status. What is your status in the community? Okay, first is we have first status, this Z. Wait, where's my cursor? Okay, there you have it. So we have the status, this one, the word status. So we have Z, we have SME, we have ME1 S1, ME2 S2, ME3 S3, or ME4 S4. So again, the first thing you have to identify the gross pay. That is somewhat here. This one, these are your gross pay. And for second is you have to identify the status. What is the status means? For Z, when you talk about Z, that is zero exemption or employee. You are an employee, but you don't have dependents. Okay, you are an employee, but you don't have a dependent. What is this dependence mean? These are example. You don't have children. You don't have children. You don't have parents anymore, and so on and so forth. Okay, so those are status. Second is we have here your S means single, or ME meaning married. You are ME means you are married employee. You are already married, and S you're still single. Okay, so this considers whether an employee is married, single, or separated, or widower. Note that all employees under the status are authorized an exemption of 50,000. So this is status S or ME. It means you are married, you're single, or you are separated, or you are a widower already. But you don't have dependents. Example, you don't have children, you don't have brothers and sisters, you don't have parents already. But you are a worker. So you are considered as ME. Okay, single, married. Down here we have ME1 or S1. When I say ME or single 1, you can observe in the status, we have ME1, 2, 3, 4 until 4. So what does it mean? You are married or single employee with 1 to 4 qualified dependents children, but not exceeding 4. Meaning, you are a worker and you have your dependents. For MP1, you are a married employee and you have 1 children, or you have 1 dependent. For MS1, you are not married, you are single, but you have a dependent. Okay? And so on and so forth. MP2, married employee, 2 dependents. S2, single, 2 dependents. M3, it doesn't mean single, you don't have child anymore. It could be because it could be that you're separated and your children is at your supervision. Okay, so you are single, you have 1 dependents or 1 children. You are a single with 2 children's dependents. You are single with 3 children dependents, and you are single but you have 4 children dependents. Same with married employed 2, 3, and 4. So for tax table, the maximum is 4 dependents. Okay, again, when you say married, you are married with your husband and children. When you say single, it doesn't mean you didn't undergo marriage, but it could consider to be you are a widower, namatay yung asawa mo, ganon, or you are separated, but you have children with you. Okay, so you have to consider that one, the gross pay and the status. Then we shall refer, so this is the BIR withholding tax table dated January 1, 2009. So let's try how everything works. First is what I told you, you identify the gross pay. So I have here the example. Let me erase this for a while. Okay, so there you have it. Okay, let's try to work or some have examples. But before that, you have to identify, as you can observe, we have 4 tables. First is daily payroll. It means you are paid daily. You receive your salary daily. Weekly, you receive your salary weekly. So we are going to refer in the column, you receive your salary semi-monthly or every 15 days, or you receive your salary monthly. Okay, so you have to identify the system of your payroll, where when you usually receive your salary. So you're going to refer to that particular column. Okay, so I have here an example. John is married and has 3 dependents. His monthly salary is 18,000. So before you look at to the table, you identify the gross pay. What is the gross pay of John? That is 18,000. When John received his salary every month. So since John received his salary every month, so you are going to refer down here, the monthly scale. Okay, let me zoom it for you. There you have it. So John is paid monthly. Okay, so meaning I'm going to refer that one. So we are done with identifying the gross pay and the system of payroll, which is monthly. After identifying the gross pay, we have to identify the status of John. The status of John is married and has 3 dependent or children dependent. So meaning, where it is located, as you can observe, it is located down there, ME3. Meaning, John is married with 3 dependents. So after you identify the status, you go back to your gross pay. What is the gross pay of John? The gross pay of John is 18,000. So meaning, as I told you earlier, this column, this is the gross pay. So meaning you're going to check out down there. So let's try to see where 18,000 belongs. As you can observe, you are going to refer for ME3 and SA. So meaning, you're only there to refer in this column. Okay? But as you can observe, where is 18,000 located? 18,000 located is between 16,250 and 22,083. So which one would I choose? So since the salary of John is between 16,250 and 2,083, what are you going to do is you always refer to the highest value that is less than the gross pay. Less than. So which of these two that is less than the gross pay of John? Meaning that is 16,250. So meaning you are going to refer to 16,250. Again, always less than of the gross pay. So let me erase this one. There you have it. So since I belong here, so meaning I am going to check it down there. So since 16,000 is the highest less than to the salary of 18,000, so meaning I am going to choose 16,000. You do not choose greater than to your gross pay. It should be the highest less than. So it should be 16,000. So I will base to 16,000. After you locate your gross pay, you look at this column. You check that one. So meaning my salary, my tax is at column 5, which is 708.83 plus 20% over. So meaning we are going to compute how it works. So since it belongs there, so it will be like this. So you copy 708.83 here. You copy plus and 20%. So as you can observe, we have the word over here. What does it mean? Over means is the difference between your actual salary and where did you base it, which is 16,000. You have to get its difference. So this is the over here is 18,000 and I base my salary to 16,250. So I have to get that difference. Okay, so let's try to compute. So copy 788.83, convert percent to decimal point 20, and the difference between my salary and the highest less than scheme from the tax table is 1,750. And you compute, so get that 20% of 1,750, that is 350, plus 708.53 plus 250, that is 1,058.33. Therefore, after that long computation, my tax contribution is 1,058.33, and it should be deducted from my salary, which is 18,000. That's how it works That's how it works for the tax table of BIR. Again, first step, you're going to identify the gross pay, identify the status, you check the highest less than, and you do the computation. You refer to this table. So because your salary, your your contribution will based on that one. So that's how it works. That's for the BIR. So that's and how everything works for the SSS, PhilHealth, BIR, and Pag-ibig Fund. In my next video, we have another things there that will supplement your understanding in this following deduction. So that ends my video for today. Goodbye. Goodbye.